Hi, my name is Kai Iwamoto. You're listening to Pro Lacrosse Talk.
On Schreiber. Sidearm whip. Scores. Now it's one. Fidel scores. Hands off for Rabel. Switches hands and scores.
Kai Iwamoto showing off those shifty skills.
Right off the bat, there's Lyle Thompson.
Welcome to Pro Lacrosse Talk, the voice of Pro Lacrosse. I'm Hutton, he's Adam. Together we're bringing you interviews with your favorite players and coaches, as well as news from all 4 professional lacrosse leagues. We're here with Kai Iwamoto, goalie with the Denver Outlaws and native of Japan. Kai, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. No, we're glad we could have you on. You're our first Japanese guest, so we're honored to have you. And we know you're originally from Tokyo, Japan, where lacrosse is really starting to grow, but obviously isn't as popular as the United States. So how and when did you first get introduced to the game of lacrosse?
So when I was in high school, after enrolling into my high school in Japan, was 2002. So I had been playing karate for 10 years and baseball for 3 years in junior high school. But I was thinking, I want to do some new stuff. And my friends from junior high school took me to the practice because they already decided to play lacrosse in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the field by the river from Tokyo. It's this evening around 4 p.m. after class classes. And I just experienced some tossing the ball, and it was so much fun. It's pretty much new, and I had never heard of lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
And then I liked it so much. Then there is a lacrosse shop 15 minutes away from the field by a train. And
Okay.
I went there right after the practice, and bought a stick and the ball. That's how I started playing lacrosse.
That's awesome. Now, do you know who owned the shop that you went and got your stick at?
Yeah.
Was that a new shop or?
It's been there for a long time. I think probably more than 20 years. It's called QB Club or Luxong. I think they have a shop in Texas too.
Oh wow, okay.
And then I think lots of American or lacrosse players from outside of the country,
Mm-hmm.
they went there and posted on their Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I saw sometimes.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. So, kind of after you got into the game, you made it your goal to become a pro player and tried out for a number of teams before signing with the Outlaws as a member of their practice squad. What was it like to kind of finally reach that goal of making a roster?
I couldn't believe it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because, that's the team I had been watching on YouTube or I kind of asked my friends who are in the United States to send me some DVDs or VHS at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the members are different, but I still think it's a part of my dream. I'm still dreaming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's so honored. I was so honored and so excited to play with them and hang out with them, and they're also nice.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I know you, too, were motivating yourself by, I think, using the hashtag Become an MLL Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's great. And then after, cracking the Denver roster, you achieved another goal and became the first Japanese-born player to play in an MLL game when you started in goal versus Dallas on July 22nd, 2018. What was it like making your first professional start?
Yeah, first of all, I used the hashtag, and I kind of surprised lots of people know what about the hashtag. I just did it myself to keep motivating me, because I'm not that kind of a guy who can motivate himself without saying anything outside. But it all worked out, and I made a roster of the practice roster first, and I had been thinking, I knew there was a World Games in Israel, and 2 other goalies, Jack Kelly and Dylan Ward, they were going to play for the U.S. team USA and Canada at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody had told me, but I kind of feeling I might be able to play at that time. That's why I was working out so hard at that time by then, and it all worked out well.
That's awesome. And after kind of you made that start that season, the end of that season was pretty fantastic for you and your Outlaw teammates, winning an MLL championship. So tell us about that experience.
So last year, we had some struggling starts, and we came back really well, but we lost a couple of games after July 4th game, I think. And then last game of the regular season, I remember that was against Atlanta Blaze. Then I wasn't on the roster, but I really wanted to be there because if we had lost, that's the last time to see other guys that year.
Yeah.
And I really love Outlaws, and not only the Outlaws organization. I love all the teammates, and they're also my friends. So I just paid myself to fly over to Atlanta and practice with them because I love taking shots from the other guys, and I really hoping that helps them too. So, and then at the time, the other two goalies are not there because of probably slight issues. So I practiced with them, and we won the game, and we clinched the playoff, and we went to, I think, Chesapeake. And I was not on the roster at the time either, but the same reason. I really wanted to be there. I wanted to share the moment, very last moment of the season, because we were working out so hard. We loved each other so much. And we won. Then the coach picked me as a backup for the championship game. It was really amazing. And, that was the first time to be on the roster, season roster, play for the game, and also won the championship. Everything was just incredible.
That must have been a really special moment, and kind of see all your hard work come full circle. That's awesome, Kai. And then you recently returned to Japan, I believe, and you were joined by Sergio Salcido and Dylan Maltz, correct?
Oh, yeah, this year, February, 10 months ago.
Yeah, and so you guys were running some clinics there, but how have you seen the game grow at the youth level in Japan from when you were first learning the game until now?
So actually, first of all, Dylan and I met at the training camp last year, the Outlaw training camp last year, and we kind of talked about the trip to Japan. And after the season, Dylan talked to me. He really wanted to come to Japan and share his knowledge and coach them. I think we coached about more than 100 players in Japan.
Wow.
You said youth, but it's all college kids. It's all college kids. From freshman to senior. Some players that just started playing lacrosse. Dylan also talked to me, they were so amazed about the level of the lacrosse in Japan. The skill or level of lacrosse in Japan is really growing.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's great to see, how far it's come.
Yeah, now our mission is, we're going to start really youth programs, kindergartners or elementary kids or something like that.
That's awesome. And kind of going off of that, how you've seen the game played here stateside, and you know how it's played in Japan. What differs from the style in North America versus back at home in Japan?
Japanese lacrosse players really skillful. I'm pretty sure. Some of the players, including my best friend, Ken Ikegawa, I think he was on the video with Matt Gibson on the shrinking trip to Japan.
Okay.
So they're so skillful. I think they can play. They're enough skillful to play at least college lacrosse in the United States. But the biggest difference is physical. So, of course, Japanese, not of course, but most likely Japanese players are really, really smaller than American guys or Canadian guys. But also, Japanese players are not used to play lacrosse really physically. So I watched the game 2 days ago, Japan Club Lacrosse National Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So the Falcons, who played against Penn State or some D1 colleges this fall, against the Steelers, the team my friends and I established together 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really great game. It's like Steelers lost down by 2. But
Okay.
so I saw really skillful players, but still, when people dodging, they're not like dodging American lacrosse players, like North American lacrosse players dodging. The Japanese players are dodging, like they're not attacking to the cage. I don't see any like
They don't really body
threat
each
from
other.
dodging. Yeah, body to body contact or any threat from the first dodge.
Well, awesome. That wraps up kind of our main questions, Kai. What we do is we're going to take a quick break, hear a word from our sponsors, but then we'll go into our 5 and 5 segment. Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of the Pro Lacrosse Talk podcast. We've been using Anchor for our podcast since the very start. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place, and better yet, it's free. They allow you to easily record and edit your podcast so it sounds great and send it out to all the major networks such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and many more. Better yet, they connect you with advertisers so you can start making money from your podcast right away. So if you're interested in starting a podcast, download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Today's show is being brought to you in part by Stitcher Premium. You can use Stitcher Premium to listen to shows ad-free such as Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favorite Murder, Wolverine the Lost Trail, or our favorite, The Fantasy Footballers. For only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year, you get access to Stitcher Originals, bonus episodes, and comedy albums. Better yet, if you go over to Stitcher.com/premium and use the promo code lacrosse today, you can get 1 month free. So head on over to Stitcher, sign up, and get your free trial today. All right, so welcome back. Now it's time to go into our 5 and 5 segment. The first question I'll ask you, Kai, is what are some pregame superstitions or routines that you have?
So I don't eat much before the game.
Okay.
If the game is at around noon, I usually skip breakfast.
Okay.
I don't know if it's okay as a athlete or not, but I feel like I don't want to gain weight before the game.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to stay hungry. Same way to think as a boxer. Because they don't eat much before the game. They make themselves very hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So the YouTube video I always watching before the game is the one from, I think, 2020, 13, 14, around sometime. John Galloway's highlight.
Oh, awesome.
I'm a huge fan of him since he was in college, in Syracuse 2008, 9. And I've been watching his video on YouTube every time, especially every before practice, every before game.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then follow that up, my next question is, who was a player that you looked up to and tried to mimic when you were learning the game? I'm guessing it was John Galloway.
Yeah, he is one of them. But when I play in college, Joshua Schwartzman.
Oh, yeah.
Another great one.
Yeah, he's not playing right now, but I'm a huge fan of him too. So I watched his game, National Championship, 2005 and 7, and he played incredibly well.
And he was a big contributor for the Outlaws for a lot of seasons.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, his number is retired too. I really love his play. I loved watching his play, but I'm not as big as him. So I just needed the guy I can copy or I can learn something more.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And John Galloway's style is relax and move as quick as possible. It's kind of my style too. So
yeah.
Still, I think he's the best role model for me.
No, that's awesome. And I'll let Adam interject a little bit because Adam is actually a goalie too. So
In high school, actually, And actually in college too, John Galloway would put mud on his face before all of his Syracuse games, and I emulated that through high school and college. So I'm there with you when it comes to John Galloway.
Yeah, he's a really great player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Kai, my next question is, who is the hardest player to play against?
So I didn't play many games more than one game in the MLL, but I took lots of shots from lots of my friends.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think Tom Schreiber is the one I really don't want to play against in the game.
That's funny. Yeah, I think I listened to your episode with Matt Gibson, and I remember you talking about him and how you just you just could never figure out where he was going to place the ball.
Yeah, sorry for giving you that. Tom Schreiber is the one.
Yeah, well, he's considered by many the best player in the world right now, so I wouldn't feel too bad about that at all. But going off of that, my next question is, what is one aspect of the Japanese style of lacrosse that you think the North American players can kind of learn from? Because, we talk about how, you and your fellow teammates from Japan wanted to learn from the American game, but are there any things that you think we could actually improve our game on here in the States?
Yeah, as I said, Japanese people play lacrosse less physically than American guys.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I think Japanese guys are really good at moving the ball, except the body contact.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, without body contact. So they might learn something from that game,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not pretty sure because I watch the boxing game. I love watching all the lacrosse games, and they do the same thing sometimes too.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's like, you got your own little style, if it's whether it's, indoor box, Canadian style, or, outdoor field lacrosse, or Japanese style of lacrosse, which you say isn't as physical, but they really move the ball well in space. So I think that's a key thing. So that's great.
The funny thing about Japanese lacrosse is every year they change the strategy, like defensive strategy or offensive strategy for everything.
Oh, interesting.
I think the reason why they do that is so they don't play lacrosse in very young age. They started playing lacrosse in college.
Mm-hmm.
So they just play lacrosse, play their lacrosse. Sometimes it's not popular or common.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we can see some new type of lacrosse or strategy. So that's probably one of the things we can take a look, and it's fun.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that.
In the United States, so we say defensively, we always say let them go down the alley. Let the offensive players go outside.
Mm-hmm.
But one year I saw a game. One team, the defensive players of the team, they let offensive players go inside all the time. It didn't work well, but it's kind of fun to watch.
It's like you said, it's a different strategy, which is unique. Well, my final lacrosse-related question before Adam gets into the off-the-field questions for you is, what has been your favorite venue to play lacrosse at? And it can be more than one.
The most memorable place is Mile High, of course. Love having fun from playing lacrosse. So there is a tournament in Japan. It's an annual tournament. It's like a 6-on-6, Olympic kind of style.
Oh, cool.
There is a small half game lacrosse tournament in Japan, and it's just for fun. That's a tournament, but everyone is coming to have fun. Sometimes from colleges, most of the players are retired, but just coming to see their friends, or sometimes they're players from same city or whatever we want. We can make up a team and we can play for the tournament just for fun. It's called the Samurai Tournament. Usually the end of January or beginning of February in Tokyo. That's probably the most favorite place to play lacrosse, at least in Japan.
Very, very cool. All right, so some maybe non-lacrosse related questions here. Who is your favorite non-lacrosse athlete to watch, whether it can be any sport?
Yeah, as a Japanese Ichiro,
Okay.
he is one of probably the greatest Japan ball athlete
Mm-hmm.
and well known in the United States. So I don't know how many years he's been playing, but I think he is around 50 right now, and he just retired this year.
Yeah.
But he just kept himself shape, and he's now playing some fun type of baseball in Japan too.
Yeah, no, he came over to the United States pretty late in terms of, a baseball career. I think he was either in his late 20s or even his 30s, and it was great to see how long his career lasted. And then I know he actually came out of retirement temporarily to play with the Mariners when they did the Japan series last year.
As a Japanese, he's probably the most inspiring athlete ever.
That's awesome. And question 2 from the non-lacrosse related question. What are some hobbies or activities outside of lacrosse that you enjoy?
I don't have many hobbies, but when I moved to Denver,
Mm-hmm.
I really loved go hiking
Okay.
and trading. Because I have never seen the view like that kind of view in Japan. It's here in Tokyo, there's just tons of buildings and tons of people. So when I went out somewhere in Rocky Mountains, I saw a lake. Yeah, I love hiking. I went to Hawaii. I went to hike. I'm in Portland right now. I'm looking for a place to go hike.
Very, very cool. Well, kind of maybe this might be a good question to go off of that. You enjoy hiking. What's your favorite place to vacation? It could be here or kind of anywhere in the world.
In Japan, I say one place not around Tokyo, like 2 hours by a car. So it goes south. It's called Hakone.
Okay.
They have really good seafood, and they have really good hot springs.
Very, very cool.
And in the United States, maybe California as a vacation.
Yeah.
So my name Kai means ocean in Japanese.
Oh, cool.
So I love ocean. I love going out ocean. And they have really good food too.
Yeah.
And also Hawaii.
Well, that kind of leads into my next question then. It's kind of on the topic of food. Do you have a favorite meal? And if so, do you like to dine out, take out, or cook while you're at home?
It depends on where I live. So when I was in California and for Portland, they have really good food too. But I prefer cooking myself too. But in Denver, sorry, no offense, but there was no good Japanese restaurant, especially Japanese restaurant.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I rather cook for myself every day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love Chipotle so much, and
awesome.
I love Five Guys too.
Hmm.
But I was in Japan for 28 years, I think.
Yeah.
So I love Japanese food, and I believe Japanese food is the best food in the world.
Mm-hmm. Of course. That's awesome. What's your? I'm curious. What's your meal of choice while you're at Chipotle?
Even though my favorite food, Japanese
yeah,
food.
You said you like to go there a good bit.
It's hard, but I really like ramen.
Okay.
So when I was in Japan, before I moved to the United States, probably went to a ramen shop at least 3-4 times in a week.
I bet the ramen there is a lot better than what we consider ramen here in the States.
Yeah, I had a couple of good ramens in New York and California though. So sometimes I see some Japanese ramen shops. It's actually from Japan. It's owned by a Japanese ramen company.
Oh, gotcha.
And then my last question for you, Kai. What's a book that you've read or are reading, or maybe even a podcast that you'd recommend to one of your teammates or friend?
I used to read books a lot, but now I'm just reading some business type of books.
Okay.
But I love reading some books about sports. I read, it's not this year, but last year I read Shoe Dog. That was really great.
What was it called?
Shoe Dog.
Shoe Dog.
Oh, cool.
That one's about Nike.
Nike, right? Yeah, that's an awesome book.
Yeah, I like reading comics, Japanese comics.
Okay.
About sports. Sometimes they're talking about team management, how to have a mindset.
We get a lot of different variety in that question. You know, some people listen to more like self-help business books. Other people, you know, they read fiction novels. You know, it really just depends. So that's why we like asking that question, because we always get a variety of answers.
When I was in junior high school, I really loved reading, I think Stand By Me, The Body.
Oh, Stephen King. That's great. No, yeah, I've been working on one of his books, The Stand, but it's so long that I'm still not even, I don't think, halfway through it. But I enjoy his writings, and I enjoy the movies that the books are based off too.
Yeah, of course, in Japanese, but I love it so much.
Oh, that's great. Well, Kai, this has been great. That wraps up our 5 and 5 segment. But we always like to ask our guests, you know, what is some advice that you would have for a young player looking to one day play lacrosse professionally like yourself?
I didn't do anything special. I just keep believing in myself, just working hard, and also to keep working hard and to keep believing in oneself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, playing lacrosse is not always fun. We have to work hard, or we have to run or train hard. But what I was really doing every single time is just think about what I'm doing and find anything I can have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I hate running, but sometimes we have to run.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I just take a look around me and find something that's funny and just keep thinking about it and forget about running. So having fun is the biggest part.
I think that's important for everybody, especially, you know, as they move up competitive levels. It's still about having fun. So I think that's some great advice. Well, Kai, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you on social media? Twitter
and Instagram. I'm using GANPOM02.
Okay.
It's called Gampon. Is a different type of pronunciation of my property name.
Okay.
When you write down Iwamoto in kanji characters, we can pronounce Gampon still. And, you know, Iwamoto is way harder to be called in the game. Gampon, for Japanese, it's way easier to be called.
Gotcha. So that's why they usually call you Gampon in the game, because it's easier to say.
All my friends in Japan call me Gampon in the game.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know. It's nice to know the meaning behind your social media handle. Well, again, Kai, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. You know, coming on the show and providing such a unique perspective on lacrosse.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me here, Game.
Today's show is being brought to you in part by Stitcher Premium. You can use Stitcher Premium to listen to shows ad-free such as Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favorite Murder, Wolverine the Lost Trail, or our favorite, The Fantasy Footballers. For only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year, you get access to Stitcher Originals, bonus episodes, and comedy albums. Better yet, if you go over to Stitcher.com/premium and use the promo code lacrosse today, you can get 1 month free. So head on over to Stitcher, sign up, and get your free trial today.